Gentlemen, let's have an honest moment. How often have you caught yourself wondering, am I truly giving her the kind of pleasure she desires? It's not exactly a question you bring up with friends, and searching online only leads to more confusion. The truth is, most of what men learn about sex, from porn or locker room talk, is far from reality. What truly matters isn't how big, fast, or forceful you are, but how aware, patient, and connected you can be. The way you move, the rhythm you create, and the presence you bring into the moment can either leave her quietly unfulfilled or make her body and mind light up in ways she'll never forget. Today, I'm going to guide you down that second path. I'll share 5 medically supported real-world techniques that can help you improve intimacy, last longer, and give her the experience she truly craves, not the one you assume she wants. But before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I always enjoy seeing men around the world come together to learn and grow. Now let's clear the air about one of the biggest misconceptions in male sexuality, the belief that sex is about size and speed. That illusion has misled generations. Science paints a completely different picture, one where technique, emotional connection, and attentiveness matter far more than raw power. I'm Dr. Hannah, a board-certified urologist with 12 years of experience helping men transform their health, confidence, and relationships. 1. Start slow. Let's start with the most overlooked truth in intimacy: pace. Most men rush. The moment arousal kicks in, instinct takes over, and the urge to go faster feels irresistible. But here's what many don't realize. The female body doesn't operate on the same timeline as the male body. Biologically, women need more time to reach full arousal. Their muscles, tissues, and blood flow respond gradually, preparing for deeper pleasure and comfort. When a man moves too fast too soon, her body may not yet be ready, leading to discomfort, dryness, or even emotional disconnection. This mismatch can create tension, leaving both partners unsatisfied. The solution isn't complicated, it's patience. Think of intimacy as an art form, not a race. The beginning should feel like a slow, steady dance. Gentle movements, shallow strokes, and deliberate pauses allow her body to awaken naturally. As her blood flow increases, her nerves become more sensitive, her breathing deepens, and her body starts responding to yours in sync. Emotionally, she feels cared for and desired, not pressured or rushed. That sense of safety triggers a deeper level of pleasure. Starting slow isn't just for her benefit, it's for yours too. When you take your time, your arousal steadies, your control improves, you last longer without forcing it. Each moment builds anticipation, and by the time you move into a stronger rhythm, her body is fully aligned with yours, amplifying every sensation. Remember, excitement doesn't come from speed, it comes from buildup. The best lovers know how to turn tension into electricity, letting it grow until it becomes irresistible. So next time, resist the instinct to charge ahead. Focus on slow, deliberate connection. Kiss longer, touch deeper, move with awareness, not haste. Because when you give her time to open up, you're not just improving performance, you're building intimacy that feels natural, powerful, and unforgettable. 2. Master the tease. If starting slow is about patience, teasing is about control, the kind that keeps her mind and body craving more. Most men underestimate how powerful anticipation can be. They think pleasure comes from continuous stimulation, when in reality, it's the tension between wanting and receiving that fuels the most intense experiences. Teasing works because it engages her entire nervous system. When you bring her close to pleasure and then ease off, her body doesn't shut down, it heightens its sensitivity. The brain releases dopamine, the anticipation hormone, creating a loop of desire that builds exponentially with every near touch and every pause. Think of teasing as the secret rhythm behind great intimacy. It's not just about holding back, It's about creating contrast. Slow down your strokes when you notice her body responding. Change your pressure, your speed, or even your focus for a few moments. Let her feel that shift. Watch her reactions, the way her breathing quickens, her hips move closer, or her hands pull you in. That's her body asking for more without words. When you finally return to that perfect rhythm, the pleasure intensifies because her body has been waiting for it. The key, however, is timing. Don't pull away when she's on the edge of climax. That can feel frustrating instead of arousing. Teasing is most effective early on, when arousal is building but not yet peaking. Done right, it transforms a simple encounter into an experience that feels electric, unpredictable, and deeply connected. Emotionally, teasing shows her you're attentive, that you're not just performing, but truly engaging with her reactions. Biologically, it keeps her arousal high and her body more responsive. Practically, it gives you natural pauses to regain control and last longer. So, the next time you're with your partner, think of teasing as the art of pacing desire. Give her glimpses of pleasure, then let her reach for more. That's what creates longing, connection, and satisfaction that lingers long after the moment ends. 3. Switch the tempo. One of the most common mistakes men make during intimacy is finding a rhythm that feels good and then staying stuck there. It might start strong, but after a few minutes, the excitement fades. Why? Because the human body, especially the female body, adapts quickly to repetitive stimulation. What felt amazing in the first few moments can start to feel predictable or dull if the tempo, depth, and angle never change. The secret to keeping pleasure alive is variation. Think of it like music. No one wants to listen to the same beat on repeat. Great intimacy has flow, rhythm, and surprise. Sometimes slow and deep, sometimes fast and shallow, sometimes stillness followed by a sudden shift. These subtle changes reawaken her senses and keep her mind engaged, not just her body. Biologically, variety keeps nerve endings responsive. The brain registers change as stimulation, meaning she continues to feel new sensations instead of getting desensitized. Emotionally, it adds suspense and excitement. She doesn't know what's coming next, and that unpredictability heightens desire. Practically, changing your tempo also helps you manage stamina. Constant fast thrusting exhausts your muscles and pushes you closer to climax too soon. But alternating speeds gives your body natural pauses, helping you last longer while maintaining control. Try experimenting with different rhythms. Slow, deep movements to build connection, quick, shallow ones to spark intensity, and moments of stillness to reset the energy. Watch her reactions closely. If she starts breathing heavier, gripping tighter, or moving in sync, you've found the right groove. Let that guide you, not habit or pressure. Switching tempo isn't about showing off technique. It's about staying in tune with her body's rhythm. Remember, excitement comes from contrast, not repetition. So don't be afraid to slow down when it feels right, or change direction when her body calls for something new. Keep her guessing, keep her feeling, and you'll turn ordinary motion into a living, breathing symphony of pleasure. 4. Grind, don't just thrust. Here's where most men miss one of the most powerful tools for creating deep pleasure: grinding. For decades, movies and porn have conditioned men to believe that great sex is all about fast, repetitive thrusting. But the truth is, the majority of a woman's pleasure doesn't come from penetration alone. It comes from clitoral stimulation, and that's something grinding delivers far better than thrusting ever could. The clitoris isn't just the small, visible part you see. It's a complex structure with branches that extend beneath the surface, wrapping around the vaginal canal like a horseshoe. That means every time your pelvis presses and moves against hers, you're activating a much wider network of sensitive nerves. Grinding allows for continuous contact, steady pressure, and control. 3 things that amplify her arousal and make pleasure last longer. Try it in positions where your bodies stay close, like missionary or when she's on top. Instead of quick in and out motions, focus on circular or rocking movements. Keep your pelvis aligned with hers, maintaining a smooth rhythm that allows your bodies to move as one. You'll notice how her reactions deepen, her breathing synchronizes with yours, and her body relaxes into the connection. Biologically, this kind of stimulation hits the clitoral network more effectively, triggering more consistent and powerful sensations. Emotionally, it creates intimacy, a sense of closeness and unity that pure thrusting often lacks. And here's the added bonus. Grinding is easier on your body and helps you last longer, since it's less stimulating for you and gives you natural control over your arousal. It's a win-win. She feels more pleasure, and you maintain endurance. So shift your mindset from penetrate to connect, grind with purpose, move with awareness, feel her reactions guide your rhythm. Because when you focus on shared movement instead of mechanical motion, you transform sex from an act into an experience, one built on pleasure, presence, and the kind of connection that lingers long after the lights go out. 5. Pay attention. If there's one skill that separates good lovers from great ones, it's awareness. Most men focus so much on performance, how long they last, how hard they go, or whether they're doing it right, that they forget to actually tune in to what's happening in real time. Paying attention isn't just about being physically present, it's about reading her body's language and adjusting instinctively. Every sound, every breath, every movement she makes is a message. When you notice and respond to those cues, you stop guessing and start connecting. That awareness changes everything. Biologically, it helps you synchronize with her arousal cycle. You can sense when she's building toward climax, when she needs slower pressure, or when she wants more depth. Her body will always tell you, if you're listening. Emotionally, paying attention shows care and confidence. It tells her she's not just a participant, but the focus of your attention. That sense of being seen and understood unlocks deeper trust, which directly enhances physical pleasure. Practically, awareness keeps you from slipping into robotic patterns. Instead of repeating the same motions, you adapt moment by moment. Maybe she pulls you closer. Go deeper. Maybe her breathing slows. Ease the rhythm. These small shifts create harmony between you both. The truth is, the most powerful tool you have in the bedroom isn't physical at all. It's presence. When your mind is clear and your focus is entirely on her, everything else falls into place. Anxiety fades, stamina improves, and connection grows. Forget about trying to impress her. Aim to understand her. Be curious, not controlling. Every woman is different, and her body holds the instructions if you're willing to learn them. So next time, slow down your thoughts and pay attention, not just to what you're doing, but to how she's responding. Because when you truly listen with your senses, you'll know exactly what to do without ever needing to ask. 6. Build confidence. Confidence in the bedroom isn't about ego or dominance, it's about calm assurance, self-control, and understanding your own body. Many men struggle with anxiety around performance, worrying whether they'll last long enough or satisfy their partner. That tension alone can sabotage everything, leading to premature release, loss of focus, or emotional distance. True confidence begins with knowledge, knowing that skill, not size or stamina, defines satisfaction. When you understand how the body works and how pleasure builds, you stop seeing sex as a test and start seeing it as an experience to share. Confidence also grows from preparation. Take care of your health, stay active, eat well, and sleep enough. Your body's strength and endurance directly influence your control and energy. But even more important is mental composure. Slow your breathing, quiet your thoughts, and focus on the moment instead of the outcome. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you perform naturally, with greater presence and sensitivity. Confidence isn't about pretending to be perfect. It's about trusting that you can adapt, respond, and improve. Every encounter teaches you something new if you stay observant. Remember, women aren't seeking perfection, they're seeking connection. When you approach intimacy without fear, you create space for authenticity. You move with ease, listen more deeply, and exude energy that draws her in. That relaxed confidence becomes contagious, helping her feel safe, desired, and free to express herself fully. Biologically, your confidence affects your body chemistry. Reduced stress means better circulation, steadier arousal, and greater control. Emotionally, it builds a feedback loop of trust. Her pleasure boosts your assurance, which in turn heightens her excitement. So, if you've ever felt inadequate, let this truth sink in. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through awareness, patience, and self-respect. Take ownership of your body, embrace your progress, and remember, you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be present, grounded, and willing to learn. That's the kind of confidence that lasts far beyond the bedroom. 7. Create real connection. At its core, great intimacy isn't about tricks, techniques, or physical performance, it's about connection. Without emotional presence, even the most skillful moves will eventually feel empty. True satisfaction comes from a sense of being seen, valued, and deeply understood by your partner. That's what creates the spark that keeps relationships alive, not just for one night, but for years. Real connection begins with vulnerability. It's about showing up as yourself, open, honest, and engaged. When you drop the mask of trying to impress and simply focus on sharing the moment, something shifts. She feels your authenticity, and her guard drops too. That emotional safety allows both of you to let go of performance pressure and just enjoy the experience. Biologically, emotional intimacy amplifies physical pleasure. When oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises during trust and affection, it enhances arousal and deepens satisfaction. That's why couples who communicate and connect emotionally often report stronger physical chemistry. Practically, connection means focusing on her experience as much as your own. Notice how her body reacts when you whisper something kind or when you maintain eye contact. Listen to her breathing, sync your rhythm with hers, and let your touch say what words can't. This isn't about dominance or submission, it's about harmony. Real connection also extends beyond the bedroom. The way you treat her outside of intimacy, your kindness, respect, and attention, sets the emotional tone for what happens inside it. When she feels emotionally secure with you, her body follows naturally, opening up to deeper pleasure and trust. Connection transforms sex into communication, two people speaking through movement, breath, and energy. So, the next time you're together, shift your focus from performance to partnership. Ask yourself, are we sharing this moment or just chasing it? When you prioritize connection, everything else, pleasure, passion, and fulfillment, flows effortlessly. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful experience you can give her isn't just physical satisfaction, it's the feeling of being truly connected to you. Gentlemen, remember this. Real satisfaction isn't about perfection, it's about presence. When you start slow, tease with purpose, vary your tempo, grind with connection, pay attention, build confidence, and create emotional closeness, you transform intimacy from a routine into an experience. Every touch becomes communication. Every moment builds trust. You don't need to be younger, stronger, or bigger. You just need to be aware, patient, and connected. These small shifts create massive change both in pleasure and confidence. I'm Dr. Hannah, reminding you that true intimacy begins with understanding, and the best lovers are the ones who never stop learning.